Hello everyone, Namaskar. Welcome back to our channel Gyan Kalyan. In the channel Gyan Kalyan, I have been dealing with the English classes of class 10th. In this video, I will be dealing with the poem A Tiger in the Zoo written by Lasell Norris.
A Tiger in the Zoo, written by Lasell Norris. So George Lasell Norris, he was born in 1921 and he expired in 2006. He was a Welsh poet and short story writer. So in the poem, he describes how animals are caged in the zoo and how their freedom is restricted by people. Before going into the details of the poem, let me know if you have ever visited a zoo. What were the animals that you have seen there? Did you feel that the animals were quite unhappy in the zoo? Perhaps yes, because the animals there are kept in cage far away from their natural habitat, that is jungle or forest. So the poet of the poem talks about the plight of those animals that are caged in the zoo. আপোনালোকে কেতিয়াবা চিৰিয়াখানালৈ গৈছেনে? তাত দেখিছেনে জন্তুবোৰ কিমান দুখত থাকে? নিশ্চয় দেখিছে। দুখত থাকে কাৰণ সিহঁতক ধৰি বান্ধি সজাত বন্দী কৰি থোৱা হয়। তেওঁলোকে কষ্ট পায়, তেওঁলোকৰ দুখ হয়। সেইবাবে তেওঁলোক কেতিয়াবা বহুত খং উঠে তেওঁলোকৰ আৰু কেতিয়াবা তেওঁলোকৰ বহুত দুখো হয়। In the poem, the poet talks about the lifestyle and behavior of two tigers. Firstly, the tiger that is moving freely in its natural habitat, and secondly, the tiger that is kept in the zoo in a cage. এই কবিতাটোত কবিয়ে দুইটা বাঘৰ চিত্ৰ দাঙি ধৰিছে। প্ৰথমে হাবিত থকা এটা বাঘ আৰু দ্বিতীয়তে চিৰিয়াখানাত বন্দী হৈ থকা এটা বাঘ। Before starting our poem, let's see some of the keywords. Keywords in stanza 1 with their meanings. Stalk. Stalk means walk or approach slowly. Next, vivid. Vivid means bright, clear. Third, rage, that is violent, anger. He stalks in his vivid stripes the few steps of his cage on pads of velvet white in his quiet rage. So this is the first stanza of the poem. The rhyming scheme of the stanza is A, B, C, B. So in the first stanza, the poet speaks about the tiger that is caged in the zoo. The stripes on his body are clear and bright. The poet describes the cage where the tiger is kept. The cage is very small in size. Therefore, the tiger can walk only a few steps. You can see the few steps of his cage. So the tiger cannot move as freely as he used to in his natural habitat, that is in the forest. His foot are very soft as that of velvet. You can see it is mentioned on pads of velvet white. Since his foot is soft, it does not make any sound. Therefore, when he walks, his footsteps does not make any sound. No one hears the sound of his footsteps. The tiger is quite angry as his freedom is restricted. Yet he is quiet because he knows that he is helpless. No one is there to listen to his pain and agony. Therefore, it is mentioned in the last line of your first stanza that in his quiet rage means the tiger is very angry, but he is quiet. He controls his anger because he knows that even if he demonstrates his anger, it is of no use. No one is going to listen to him. His freedom has been restricted and he is kept in the cage. তো ইয়াত কবিয়ে চিৰিয়াখানাত বন্দী হৈ থকা বাঘবোৰৰ কথা কৈছে। সিহঁতৰ দেহত উজ্জ্বল ষ্ট্ৰাইপছ কিছুমান থাকে। কবিয়ে কৈছে যে বাঘবোৰক যিটো সজাত ৰখা হয় সেই সজাবোৰ অত্যন্ত সৰু হয়। তাত বেছি খোজ কঢ়াৰ ঠাই নাথাকে। বাঘবোৰে স্বাধীনভাৱে তাত খোজ কাঢ়িব নোৱাৰে। কিন্তু জংঘলত বাঘবোৰে স্বাধীনভাৱে ঘূৰি ফুৰে। সিহঁতৰ ভৰিৰ পাতবোৰ অধিক কোমল হোৱা বাবে সিহঁতৰ খোজৰ শব্দ নহয়। সিহঁতে খোজ কাঢ়িলেও কোনেও শুনা নাপায়। বাঘটোৰ বৰ খং উঠে কেতিয়াবা, কাৰণ সি নিজ ইচ্ছামতে একোৱে কৰিব নোৱাৰে তথাপিও সি একো নকয় Now let us come to the second stanza. So the keywords and the meaning of the second stanza are lurking. Lurking means remaining hidden and waiting for its prey. And second, there is the word sliding. Sliding means moving slowly. He should be lurking in shadow, sliding through long grass, near the water hole where plump deer pass. In this stanza, the poet portrays the image of a tiger in the jungle. In its natural habitat, a tiger can move around as he wants. He can hide behind the grass, he can drink water from the pond, he can catch his prey easily. The poet says that if the tiger had been free, that is, he would have been in the jungle, he would have hid himself behind the long grass near the water bodies and anxiously wait for a deer to pass by the long grasses so that the tiger can catch it as its prey and eat it. But in the cage, the tiger can't do any of these activities. The rhyming scheme of this stanza is also A, B, C, B. তো দ্বিতীয় শাৰীত কবিয়ে কৈছে যদি বাঘটো আজি জংঘলত থাকিল হয় সি মুক্তভাৱে জংঘলত ঘূৰি ফুৰিব পাৰিলহেঁতেন ঘাঁহৰ পিছফালে মনে মনে লুকাই থাকিব পাৰিলহেঁতেন আৰু যেতিয়া হৰিণাবোৰ পানী খাবলৈ কোনো খাল বিল আদিবোৰত আহিলহেঁতেন তেতিয়া সি হৰিণাক শিকাৰ কৰিব পাৰিলহেঁতেন কিন্তু আজি সি কেজত বন্দী হৈ আছে সি সজা এটাত বন্দী হৈ আছে আৰু সেইকাৰণে সি এইবোৰ একো কাম কৰিব পৰা নাছিল So in this stanza, the poet is showing the plight of the tiger who is caged in the zoo. Let us come to stanza 3, the keywords and their meaning. First of all, snarling. Snarling means warning sounds made by animals. Then bearing. Bearing means uncovered, that is exposed. Then fangs. Fangs means sharp tooth of animals. Let's come to the third stanza. He should be snarling around houses at the jungle's edge, bearing his white fangs, his claws, terrorizing the village. So the rhyming scheme of the third stanza of the poem is also A, B, C, B. So in this poem, in this stanza, the poet continues to portray the image of the tiger in the jungle. The poet says that had the tiger been in its natural habitat, he would have roamed around the villages, snarling around the houses that are located at the outskirts of the forest. So you already know the meaning of snarling. Snarling means giving some warning sound to the villagers. So he would have scared and terrorized the villagers with his sharp tooth and claws. You can see the lines, bearing his white fangs and claws, terrorizing the villagers. Now, why would he terrorize the villagers? You know, what are people doing? They are carrying deforestation. They are continuously cutting trees and to construct houses. And they are clearing the forest, thus disturbing the natural habitat of the animals. So when the animals find no place to stay, then they will definitely terrorize the people who has caused their destruction. So the tiger terrorizes the villagers so that they don't carry any more deforestation, so that they allow the animals to stay peacefully in their natural habitat. তো তৃতীয় শাৰীত কবিয়ে কৈছে যে জংঘলত থকা হলে বাঘটোৱে জংঘলৰ আশে-পাশে থকা ঘৰবোৰত গৈ মানুহবোৰক নিজৰ বগা দাঁত আৰু ক্লজবোৰ নখবোৰ দেখাই ভয় খোৱালেহেঁতেন কাৰণ মানুহবোৰে ঘৰ বনোৱাৰ কাৰণে জংঘলবোৰ কাটি গৈ আছে যাৰ ফলত জীৱ-জন্তুবোৰৰ থকাৰ ঠাই নাইকিয়া হৈছে সেইবাবে বাঘটোৱে জংঘলত থকা মানুহবিলাকক ভয় খুৱাই ৰাখিলহেঁতেন যাতে সেই মানুহবোৰে জংঘল কটা বন্ধ কৰে আৰু সেই এনিমেলছবোৰক সেই জীৱ-জন্তুবোৰক শান্তিৰে তাত থাকিব দিয়ে কিন্তু আজি যিহেতু বাঘটোক কেজত লৈ ভৰাই থৈছে এটা সজাত বন্ধি কৰি থোৱা হৈছে সেইবাবে বাঘটোৱে আজি এইবোৰ একোৱে কৰিব পৰা নাই সি নিমাত হৈ মনে মনে কেজটোৰ ভিতৰতে বহি থাকে হি অসহায় so this again exposes the helplessness of the tiger who is caged in the zoo. So let's come to stanza 4 now. So stanza 4 there is a keyword with this meaning, so that is concrete. So concrete means it's a building which is made of bricks, cement and water. The fourth stanza is as follows: but he is locked in a concrete cell, his strength behind bars, stalking the length of his cage, ignoring visitors. The rhyming scheme of this stanza is also ABCB. So in this stanza, the poet comes back to the original condition and state of the tiger in the zoo. In the zoo, the tiger is kept confined in a strong cell which is too strong to be broken. Though the tiger is angry and ferocious, yet he can't do anything. His ferociousness is confined to the bars. He just walks the few steps in the cage. He has no power to terrorize or scare the visitors. He can't attack anyone. All his powers are seized behind the bars. চতুৰ্থ শাৰীত কবিয়ে কৈছে যে চিৰিয়াখানাত বাঘটোক এটা শক্তিশালী সজাত বন্দী কৰি ৰখা হৈছে সজাটো ইমানেই ষ্ট্ৰং অৰ্থাৎ ইমানেই শক্তিশালী আছিল যে বাঘটোৱে সেই সজাত পৰা ওলাই আহিব পৰা নাছিল ইমান শক্তিশালী হোৱাৰ পিছতো সেই সজাটোক ভাঙিব পৰা নাছিল শক্তিশালী বাঘটোৱে বাঘটোৰ সকলো শক্তি সেই সজাৰ ভিতৰতে সীমিত কৰি দিয়া হৈছিল ইয়াত বাঘটোৱে ভিজিটাৰ্ছ অৰ্থাৎ যিসকল ব্যক্তিয়ে চিৰিয়াখানাত বন্দী হৈ থকা জীৱ জন্তুবোৰক চাবলৈ আহে সেই ভিজিটাৰ্ছবোৰক সেই বাঘটোৱে ভয় খুৱাব পৰাও নাছিল কাৰণ সি নিজেই বন্দী হৈ আছিল সি আনক কেনেকৈ ভয় দেখাব গতিকে সি ভিজিটাৰ্ছসকলক ইগন'ৰ কৰিছিল খঙত সি সৰু সজাটোৰ ভিতৰতে খোজকাঢ়ি আছিল সি সৰু সৰু খোজ দি আছিল So in this stanza also the poet expresses the agony, the plight, the anger of the tiger who is kept in the cage. Stanza 5, that is the last stanza of the poem. So here one keyword and its meaning is patrolling, that is keep watching over or guarding. So that is the meaning of patrolling, that is in your stanza 5 of the poetry. So now we have come to the concluding stanza of the poem. So let's see what is given in the last stanza. He hears the last voice at night, the patrolling cars, and stares with his brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. So this is the concluding stanza. The rhyming scheme of the stanza is ABCB. So in this last stanza, the poet describes the night of the tiger when he is kept in the zoo. So in the night, the tiger hears the sound of the patrolling car. You can see he hears the last voice at night, that is the voice of the patrolling cars. Now what is a patrolling car? You have already seen that is the car which is used by the police to guard the zoo at night. So the police comes in the patrolling car to see if everything is all right in the zoo. So the light of the patrolling cars that it falls on the tiger's eyes, and the tiger's eyes shine with that reflection of that light. You can see that is why it is mentioned, and stares with his brilliant eyes. So with those brilliant shining eyes, he stares at the brilliant stars. Maybe he consoles himself by looking at the stars, that from the now that he is caged, he can see the stars. So when he was in his natural habitat, then also he was able to see the stars. So maybe he's consoling himself that even though I am in the cage or I am in the zoo, I can still watch the stars. So that is also a sign of hope, you can say. And one more you can give an analysis that brilliant eyes, tigers' eyes are very ferocious. when you look into the tiger's eyes, you can see that their eyes are very ferocious. A different kind of light is there in a tiger's eyes. So therefore also the poet may have mentioned that the eyes of the tigers were brilliant. So his eyes reflect some hopes also that maybe one day he will be released. So that is also maybe a reason that the poet is using the word brilliant eyes. So with that the poet concludes the poetry. So চিৰিয়াখানাত ৰাতি পুলিচৰ গাড়ী আহে, পুলিচবোৰে গাড়ী লৈ আহে পেট্ৰলিং কৰিবলৈ, তাৰমানে চেক কৰিবলৈ, পৰীক্ষা কৰিবলৈ যে চব ঠিক ঠাক আছে তাতে জুত চিৰিয়াখানাটোত। চ' ৰাতি বাঘটোৱে সেই গাড়ীবোৰৰ শব্দ শুনিছিল আৰু গাড়ীৰ লাইটবোৰ বাঘৰ চকুত পৰিছিল আৰু সেই লাইটৰ কাৰণে বাঘৰ চকুবোৰ উজ্বলি উঠিছিল আৰু সেই উজ্জ্বল চকুৰে বাঘটোৱে ৰাতিৰ তৰাবোৰ দেখিছিল, তৰাবোৰো উজ্বলি আছিল। চ' এইটো দুটা কাৰণ হ'ব পাৰে যে কবিয়ে ব্ৰিলিয়েণ্ট ৱৰ্ডটো ইউজ কৰিছে, মানে উজ্বলি থকা ব্ৰিলিয়েণ্ট আইজ বুলি কোৱা দুটা কাৰণ হ'ব পাৰে। এটা কাৰণ যে টাইগাৰৰ আইজবোৰ চাবা খুব ফেৰচিয়াছ হয়, খুব চমক থাকে টাইগাৰ্ছৰ চকুহালত। চ' সেইটো কাৰণেও ক'ব পাৰে কবিয়ে ব্ৰিলিয়েণ্ট আইজ বুলি। আৰু এটা ক'ব পাৰে কাৰণ ব্ৰিলিয়েণ্ট শ্বাইন কৰি আছিল, কাৰণ মে বি উইথ এ হোপ, এটা আশা আছিল টাইগাৰৰ চকুত মনত যে এদিন আমি ইয়াৰ পৰা ফ্ৰী হ'ম। চ' সেইটো কাৰণেও হয়তো তেওঁলোকৰ তাহাঁতিৰ আইজবোৰ চকুহাল জিলিকি আছিল। চ' that may be two of the reasons for the poet mentioning of the word brilliant eyes. So with this lesson Lawrence, he concludes his poem Tiger in the Zoo. Thank you.